who I am. I was trained by Al Gore after I saw his movie to give a speech, a talk based upon his slide set, and I've been doing that for the past 2 years on 3 continents. I'm here because I came to Poland to attend the United Nations Conference on Climate Change the first 2 weeks in December. Unfortunately, there was a failure of that conference to make any meaningful progress. It was dreadful for all of us who were there as ecologists and not as industrial interests. Unfortunately, again, the deadline is December of 2009 for a definitive treaty to cap greenhouse gas emissions, or we face a very bleak future. That future is not directly in our sight, but we can see that it's coming if we extrapolate on the patterns that our ecosystem is taking now. And the other conclusion is that the governments of the world will not be able to take action in time. They will not solve it if we don't do something. And this project that I have in mind is dedicated to moving those governments along. Now, I have 4 axioms that I would like to present to you. First, that life on Earth is in mortal danger. You've heard a lot of these facts in little bits and pieces. You've seen movies here and there and things on TV. Let me give you the statement by a body of 2,500 very conservative scientists who stated at the end of 2007 that global CO2 emissions must peak by 2015 and decline rapidly to avoid catastrophic changes in Earth's climate that may lead to the extinction of 20 to 30% of all species by the end of this century alone, and threaten human survival. Another quotation from someone you probably know, Stephen Hawking, who is afraid that the Earth might end up like Venus at 250 degrees centigrade raining sulfuric acid. This is not light stuff. James Hansen, the head of NASA's Goddard Space Flight Agency in America, who's been saying this for 30 years, the climate system is dangerously close to tipping points with disastrous consequences for life, and for the general well-being of the planet. And in particular, we risk returning the planet to ice-free conditions when sea levels were higher by 70 meters. Incidentally, Berlin is about 45 meters above sea level, and about 1/3 of Germany lies under 70 meters of sea level. Now, just to give you a few of the catastrophic events, these are all possible failure modes for the ecosystem, for life on the planet. Any one of these could doom us, and if that's not enough, I'm sorry I don't have enough time to let you read all of those 20. Business and politics are not helping. That's the second principle. That should be patently obvious to this audience especially. Third, that public outcry can, and has in the past, brought down walls. And last, that the hackers of the world can wake the world. I'm looking for a few good people to help with this project. It's estimated that 1 out of 6 people on Earth have access to the internet. This will be an important channel for the eco-political social engineering, which this project that I will propose will be. I won't discuss it, I don't have time now. Anyone who responds to my email address, which is on my final slide, will get the straight scoop on it. I view hackers as the key masters of the internet, and you have little to lose but your time. But there is really no time to lose. So please, if you're motivated to, if you hear the calling, please email me at this. I've already reserved the Hackers for Earth domains in the .com and .org, which will be populated as part of the project, but that is not the project. The project, again, I call it eco-political social engineering. So thank you very much.
So the next
Okay, coming up, Mark Bergman about fish marks, a combination of fishing and bookmarks. I hope I didn't take too much away. Here you go.
Welcome everyone. Well, actually, the idea to stand here was born only a day ago, and I saw there was an empty slot, so I immediately wrote myself in. Who am I? I'm Mark Bergman. Some people might know me by my nickname, Sea Chicks. Most of you might not know me at all. Why I'm going to give this lightning talk? Well, I found something that looks pretty odd, and I don't really have time to sort it all out myself. So maybe there's someone else willing to dive a little bit deeper into it. Well, how it works, kind of simple. Internet Explorer and actually Firefox as well seem to prefer bookmarks above DNS lookups. Which means if you type www.google.com in your browser, you expect to end up at Google, which will of course happen, unless there's a bookmark with the name www.google.com. And the URL of this is set to yahoo.com. So the only thing you need is a bookmark with the right name. And of course you don't want to fish Google, or well, maybe you will, but it might be especially interesting for banks. Well, this is a screenshot of a bookmark in Internet Explorer. No hassle there. In Firefox, there's still the load this bookmark in the sidebar thingy. That's on by default. If you make a bookmark from a JavaScript, it can only be added to a side panel. I'm still looking for better JavaScript to make real bookmarks, but I think that's only little technical issues and it probably will be solved. Also in Firefox, it actually gives away the trick, because you see a pop down from your URL bar stating the real URL as well. So that's a bit nifty, but in Internet Explorer it works flawlessly. Well, some thoughts on what to do with this. Well, of course, www.bank.com, you can point that to https://www.bank.com, and then your own evil site. And of course, you give this you start with a lot of, well, rubbish characters to make people think it's a normal site. And well, you can actually have that site, make that site having a valid SSL certificate. So guess what? The little thingy that everyone has to check according to their banks will be closed, and the sites will seem perfectly safe. Well, what do we need to get this working? We need a way to make bookmarks as easy as possible. So JavaScripting or maybe some other way to trick people into clicking OK, which in the past has been proven not to be very hard. Maybe clickjacking is a good start for this. We'll still have to sort out how to fix the sidebar issue. So how to make sure that in Firefox the bookmark will load a full screen. Also, I haven't had any time to check other browsers, but I'm getting curious what Chrome, Safari and all the other browsers will do. I'll be diving into this maybe for a few more minutes, but if other people feel interested and have time to sort this out, well, it won't even cost that much time. Send me a mail and, well, good luck diving into this. My email address, you can find some more information on the wiki. So I'm more than happy to hear from you, and thank you for your time.
Okay, thanks, Mark. Next one is Mario. He talks about the Freiphone community, which is a wireless radio community. And after that, we hear Marcel.
Hi, I'm Mario. I'm supporting the Freiphone communities already for a few years. I don't know, many Germans, I think most Germans know what Freifunk is. You could translate that as free wireless. And we actually want to transfer the idea of free and open source software to infrastructure. So what we do is we have OpenWRT and other firmwares that we use, and actually we connect people through mesh networks. So there are, for instance, people who have connection to internet and other people who don't. Well, I don't have connection to the people who have internet, so I can go through another person in the middle, an intermediate. So that's, for instance, one case where we can use Freifunk. But Freifunk is not just about sharing internet. It's a lot about like sharing it all and learning about technology, many things. So I don't want to talk so much about Freifunk because we have all heard about this maybe before or about similar projects. What I was interested now is what's going on internationally with Freifunk. So I did research and I set up this website, and the website is actually called global.freifunk.net. And yeah, it's here, and I found a lot of people all over the world who share this idea, and that's fantastic to me. So I'm actually collecting all the feeds of communities that offer Freifunk feeds, and I found about 220 communities, mainly in the Western language-speaking world. It's very hard for me to find Chinese-speaking and so on. So Asia is still somewhat underrepresented. But already more than 150 communities offer a feed, and I collect these feeds and show them on my website. So there is a kind of a global newswire. And what I would like to do here is, because we have people from all over the world here, please join me, you know, projects. Please email a project to me. Let me know about any project that's going on. As I said, we started with the free wireless thing, so it's not only about open source software. We have this idea expanding to open hardware. I met open pattern guys here, Xavier Cassel from France. He had a presentation at the Congress. So it's not about open source, open wireless only. It's all about also about open hardware. Yeah, if you know any project, please mail me, and I would like to include this in the global newswire and yeah, promote the idea of free and open knowledge and sharing everywhere. Okay, thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Mario. That was only 3 minutes, so you gave us 1 minute.
So I just, so here's my email address, of course. Okay, so if anyone is wondering, and of course you find my contact details on the wiki as well. Let me know your website, and I include it in the newswire.
Oh, fuck. Hast du schon umgestellt? Okay. So the next speaker is Marcel. He talks about Agile Admin.
Everybody. Yeah, I would like to talk about Agile Way for sysadmins. Agile becomes more and more common in software development, like test-driven and something like that. In 2006, I wrote an essay about, and I analyzed how to adaptate or how to transfer the knowledge of Crystal, Scrum, and extreme programming, or special test-driven development, to system administration. So Agile values, principles, and practices, and try to how we can use this at system administrators. So what was my job at this time, and yeah, I call this Agile system administration. And if we are looking for that, it's not just a transfer of knowledge; it's also a search for the best practices for sysadmins, and that's what I would like to discuss, or would like to find people who would like to search for nice practices. And I want to introduce you a couple of ideas that may be quite common or known. For example, if someone hears first time about extreme programming, oh, that's pair programming. Yeah, I know. Sitting two people in front of a keyboard, driver, co-driver, writing a test and then implementing the stuff. But it's not that all. This is the same in system administration. If you have a time problem, time-based issue, yeah, two people in front of a keyboard, of course, yeah, I do that. If we are thinking about self-organized teams, it's quite useful to learn something. So